What if the Premier League had a draft? Now, I did this earlier in the year on FIFA 23. We're back here for FC24 to do it again. We have over 360 players on this wheel. That's why it looks so distorted. And the players that are bigger, like Messi, Haaland, and Mbappe, those are your top 10 highest overall inside of the game. The idea is we have a draft order, just like real life, just like American teams like the NFL, like the NBA, NHL, MLS, they all have drafts and to choose a player. We are doing that. We are transmitting a full-on new teams for all 20 Premier League squads, and the order is going to go as of last season with the 3 teams that got promoted, with Luton Town coming up in the playoffs from the championship, Sheffield United, who came second in the championship, and then Burnley, who won the league. So that is Luton, Sheffield, Burnley, and then Everton is the one club that finished in 17th, surviving relegation, all the way 17th, all the way to first to Man City. And when we flip those each and every single round, we will go ahead and do this until we have a full-on squad of an 11 outfield players with 7 subs, in which 7 subs, a striker, left wing, right wing, cam, CDM, and then 2 center backs as our subs. Over 360 players, and when we fill out this squad, we will then go into tournament mode and just simulate the whole entire thing on FC24 to see who the best team is in the Premier League with this drafted squad. So we are going to go ahead and kick things off here with Luton Town getting the #1 pick inside this FC24 draft. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, because I'm going to be here for a while. And the first pick is Benzema. So he will be going over to Luton Town to play for them. He will take over that starting striker role. Obviously, the highest overall player will go ahead and start, and you can only have 2 strikers. So next up is going to be Sheffield United. They are next up on this wheel. We are going to go ahead and just lower that a little bit, because the wheel was a little bit way too loud, and I can make it a little bit louder here. But you can get the idea here where Lewandowski, he's now going over to Sheffield United to play for the Mighty Hammers, who actually just got smashed 8-0, was it, against Newcastle just this last weekend, if this is coming out the week of the 25th or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm going to be here for a long time filling out this little team sheet here, and by the time this is full, I will come back and I'll show y'all where these big players go, like Messi, Kane, Lewandowski, all these. But other than that, I'll be back in just a second, at least for you. It might be hours for me. Leave a like, subscribe. And with the third pick, I literally said I'll be back in as soon as I can. With the third pick, Lionel Messi is going over to Burnley. The Inter Miami man is finally making his Premier League debut, but this time with Burnley. Now, he is a center forward in the game, therefore he will take that striker spot for Burnley. That is our first massive. Is that the, no, it's not the highest overall. Lewandowski is. Erling Haaland has managed to make his way over to Brentford. He will be going to the London club to hopefully try and rewrite them and work alongside whoever it may be. But Haaland is now at Brentford. Vinny Jr. is now at Fulham. Chelsea go ahead and pick up Almiron, with Crystal Palace getting Pedro Gonçalves. And with the last pick of the first round, Manchester City are going to go ahead and pick up Callum Wilson as their starting striker. We still have some big names left on this board here. I believe we have 3 of the top 10. We have Courtois, Mbappe, and KDB, who have still yet to get picked. But as we go through the first round, we have Benzema, Lewandowski, and Messi all going in 3 in a row. Quick succession, with Depay falling at Everton. We have Griffo, who's a cam at Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth go ahead and get their first keeper with Onana. Pavard boosts their defense with Pavard, or West Ham boosts their defense with Pavard. Wolves go ahead and pick up Cam Jonathan Vieira. It's not Fabio Vieira, it's not the Arsenal one. Chelsea go ahead and pick up right winger Almiron, Pedro Gonçalves. Vinny Jr. went to Fulham. Haaland went to Brentford. Politano went to Tottenham. Thiago went to Aston Villa. Ruben Diaz went to Brighton. Berardi at Liverpool. Harry Kane go ahead and gets picked up by Newcastle. Yere went to Man United. Arsenal go ahead and get Gundogan, which actually ain't that far unrealistic. We were kind of interested in him before he went ahead and moved over to Barcelona. But that is round 1 of, say, 18. That I have to do, and I've been recording for 25 minutes already. I will see y'all at the end of round 2, or when these 3 big players get chosen. And seeing as this is a snake draft, we are obviously going backwards. So Man City went ahead and picked up Firmino, which actually drops Callum Wilson to the bench as their bench striker, Firmino being their starting striker. Arsenal go ahead and get Odegaard as their cam, so they go ahead and stay loyal to the main man, Mr. Martin Odegaard, the club captain who just signed for an extra 5-year deal. Now, he was quiet during that Tottenham game, but he is still the best cam in the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes doesn't even come close to it, but Odegaard goes to Arsenal. We finally get rid of one of the last big boys standing. Kylian Mbappe is going over to Bournemouth in the 3rd round of the draft. I believe that's every top 10 striker, well, not top 10 striker, but all top 10 players besides goalkeeper Courtois, who have yet to get chosen. Just to go through a little bit of the players now, since we are a little bit deeper into the draft, we have Luton Town, who picked up Gulaski and then Zinchenko. Sheffield United picking up Calabria and Tonali. Burnley, Tomiyasu Tuchemi. Everton have their center backs kind of partnered up together with Schär and Savic. We have Nuno Santos and Brandt at Nottingham Forest. Brandt knocking down Grifo to the bench. Bournemouth go ahead and pick up Mbappe. And then the second round is the second round. I'll be back with more picks as we still have Courtois left on this big old wheel of over 300 players still. And after a very long and painful 6.5 hours of getting the teams right, doing the draft, putting the teams into actual team sheets, we finally have it set up to ready to go to see who the best Premier League team is. I'm only going to show you all the starting 11 because the bench, I didn't really do the bench and it doesn't really matter that much. We are going to start here with Bournemouth. We have Mbappe as a striker, a front 3 with St. Maximum, Almada, Ziyech, Zambio and Guessa, Dorado as a midfield duo, Moreno, Gabriel, Alaba, Wan-Bissaka, and then Onana as the keeper. Every single team is playing a 4-2-3-1 formation too, by the way. Going over to Arsenal, Arsenal actually kind of kept a couple of their players. Iago Aspas is a striker, Rashford on the left-hand side, Odegaard stays as their club captain in that cam. They actually have Bruno Fernandes on the bench as well. Bukayo Saka stays. Gundogan and Fabinho also in that midfield duo. Davies, Bremer, De Ligt, Roberto, and then Aaron Ramsdale is in the starting 11 for Arsenal. Aston Villa has Vlahovic, Matoma, Hoffman, Rafinha, Milinkovic-Savic, Neves, Hernandez, Virgil van Dijk as their captain, Ginter, Di Lorenzo, and Oblak between the sticks. Brentford have the main man, Haaland himself, with Grealish, Fekir, and Anthony right behind him. Bernardo Silva and Modric as a duo midfielders. Tagliafico, Rudiger, Stones, Navas, and Martinez to stop all the goals. Brighton have Nkunku, Pellegrini, Rafael Leao, Pedri, Luis Alberto, Pepe, Di Marcos, Ruben Diaz, William Saliba, Lucas Digne, and then Nick Pope as their keeper. Burnley get the Messi magician with Fabian Wirtz with Florian Wirtz behind them. Carrasco, Højbjerg, Casemiro, Mahrez, Tomiyasu, Diego Carlos Romero, Jordi Alba staying with Messi all throughout his career. Seems like Courtois and the sticks. Chelsea, one of the worst clubs ever, have Gabriel Jesus, Luis Diaz, James Maddison, Mohamed Salah, Bruno Guimaraes, Singari, Essler. They maintain Thiago Silva as their center back and the club captain. Bastoni and Lazari, and then Castellanos to between the sticks. Crystal Palace have Joselu, Gonzalez, Zelleron, Asensio, Torreira, Paulina, Tierney, Romagnoli, Martinez, Molina, and then Kieran Trapp as their keeper. Everton have Depay, Zaha, Mason Mount, Inaki Williams. Is that Inaki Williams? I believe it is. Thomas Partey and Rodri. That's a great midfield duo right there. Acuna, Fernandes, Varane, Klose, Donnarumma in net. Going over to Fulham, they have Iglesias with Vinny Jr., Kaku, and Heung-min Son as their wingers. Nico Barella and Alvarez as their midfielders. Chilwell or Serbi, Orban, Martinez, and Szczesny in their defensive spot. Liverpool, one of the hottest teams right now in the Premier League after their poor season last season. Patrick Schick, Zakani, Munai, Berardi, Bellingham, McAllister they maintain of, Reynaldo, Jonathan Thaw, Araujo, Matty Cash, and then Bonu in net. Luton Town get Karim Benzema, Kimmich, Marquinhos, Galaski, Zinchenko, Tadic, Lamela, Vasquez, and Rodriguez in their team. Manchester City, a little bit weak for them. Roberto Firmino, Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. Paqueta, who they're actually interested before his betting allegations. Sane, Conte, Kessié, the Saudi Arabian duo, into it together. Mendy, Hermoso, Jimenez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then Keylor Navas in net. On the other side of Manchester, we have Lautaro Martinez as their striker, Ramsey, Forsberg, Golovin, Kevin De Bruyne switching Manchester's clubs, Mourinho, Benessabani, Yari, Koulibaly, Mazraoui, and then Ter Stegen as their keeper. A massive improvement on Onana. Newcastle United get Harry Kane. He's back in the Premier League. Raheem Sterling, Olmo, Sinkekov, Gavi, Cruz, Gallardo, Tomori, Militao, Ricardo Paeta, and Romero as their keeper. Nottingham Forest have Ben Yedder, Brandt, Chiesa, Boli, Valverde, Edwards, Espino, Chris Smalling, Koundé, Vidal, and then Neuer in net. Lewandowski is at Sheffield United with Lo Celso, Harvey Barnes, Chukwueze, Tonali, Benacer, Nuno Mendes, Gavardio, Skriniar, Kobel in net. Calabria as their right back. Spurs have Mane, Martinelli, Götze, Pochettino, Declan Rice, a duo Arsenal switching North London clubs here. Parejo, Martisic, De Vrij, Schlotterbeck, Porto, and then Mainan in net. West Ham have Kolo Muani with Neymar Jr., Musiala, Diaby, Goretzka, Locatelli, Joao Cancelo back in the Premier League, Pavard, Kim Min-jae, Kufar, and then Allison going down to West Ham, going down to London to play with them. Wolves, the Portuguese club, gets the Portuguese man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, alongside Kai Havertz, Jadon Sancho, Frankie de Jong, Rabiot, Rodrigo, Robertson, Laporte, Hummels, Dalot, and then Ederson as his goalkeeper. This might be a team to look out for. And then that is all 20 teams. We are going to go ahead and put them into a tournament to see who is the best Premier League team from all of this draft stuff. If you are enjoying this, leave a like, subscribe. Now, before I show you the results of this league campaign, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who you think finished first in the league. But we are going to go ahead and start at the bottom here. Number 20th is Burnley FC, coming in obviously last place with 23 points, a negative 31 goal difference. Obviously just didn't have a good team. Is this a team that had Benzema? I think it is. Luton Town came in 19, so they would have got relegated straight back. So the draft, despite being the first pick of the draft, it doesn't help them at all. They finished on 30 points with a negative 21 goal difference. Everton finishing 18th with 35 points, negative 19 goal difference. Now, just barely surviving by a better goal difference is Brighton, finishing in 17th with 35 points as well. However, a negative 11 goal difference, so better goal differential there. That's the only reason why they survive over Everton. In mid-table-ish, we have Bournemouth in 16th, Nottingham Forest in 15th, Wolves in 14th, Chelsea 13th, Crystal Palace 12th, Manchester United in 11th, Liverpool in 10th, Fulham in 9th, Newcastle in 8th, Tottenham in 7th. And now for your top 6, I'm going to go ahead and slowly roll this through. And maybe if I don't, then you might just see who the top 6 is right now. Coming in 6th is Aston Villa with 58 points. They had a positive 7 goal differential, 15 wins, 13 draws, 10 losses, 49 goals scored. Coming in 5th, in which would be a Europa League spot, is a team that is fighting for relegation in real life, Sheffield United. 15 wins, 14 draws, 9 losses, 59 points. Now the gap between 5th and 4th is 7 points, just doing the quick math there. And finishing in 4th is going to go ahead and be the Gunners Arsenal, finishing in 4th with 66 points, back to where they love to be for however long they spent 4th every single season. In 3rd, we have Brentford in 68 points, so Arsenal just struggling by 2 points behind. Brentford 17 wins as well as draws, only 4 losses, so the team that has lost the least amount only finished in 3rd for Brentford. Now coming in 2nd, we have West Ham United with 22 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses, 52 goals for, 34 goals against, 18 goal differential. And coming in 1st and winning the Premier League is what they seem to only be able to do now these days. Manchester City, however, this time 22 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses. However, their goal difference is just 1 better than West Ham's. So they go ahead and lift that trophy by 1 goal. In fact, what was their final game day? I can go ahead and see it all the way down here. Their final game day, Manchester City, was actually against West Ham United. So a very title deciding game there, in which City takes it over for West Ham. So West Ham was actually leading it going to the final game day of the season. So Manchester City are your Premier League champions out of this Premier League draft. If you want to see other videos like this, maybe not. This needs to absolutely blow up if I want to do another one of these. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and join the Patreon.